It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the Washington Commanders and the Dallas Cowboys, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 23.
Well, the roof is closed, but as you can probably tell, the mouths of these Cowboy fans could not be more wide open. It is a frenzied AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Today, rivals square off in the NFC East, and we've got a great matchup between the Washington Commanders and the Dallas Cowboys. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
"22 men ready to do battle. It's time to dance." And this one is underway here on EA Sports. From the 6. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. So that a nightmarish start to a football game as they give the ball away on the opening kickoff.
And they put their defense in a bind right away. They have to go into protect mode.
They'll throw on first down with Griffin. Escaping the press. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. Well, if they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
So from inside the 20, here's first and 10 at the 18. Out of the gun, Griffin. Looking middle, and that's complete. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
You don't see too many pass-catching fullbacks nowadays, partner. In fact, you don't see too many fullbacks, period.
Good news, though, he does have decent hands, and we saw it right there on display. They go play action with Griffin. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Commanders are on the board first here this afternoon. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They used their fullback in pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
Extra point attempt here still to come. It's good, and Washington will take a 7-0 lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. So out come the Cowboys under head coach Mike McCarthy. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
They'll throw on first down with Aikman. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They go play action with Aikman. Throw left side complete. That's Pearson. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Another big play as they get 28 out of that one.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 down at the 33. To throw is Aikman. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this ball incomplete. Looked very much to be a catchable ball. He could not hang on. 2nd down coming up.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. Looking to throw again here, Aikman. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game, but after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Going deep here for Bryant. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there. 33 yards. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from evening this one up. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your turkey bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. 5 plays there on that drive. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Commander's going to retake the field for drive number 2. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
2nd and 5 now. Griffin flushed out right. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Riggins. And he'll get a few yards here to the 34.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
On 2nd down now, Riggins. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a pickup of 12 and a Commander's first down.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Now it's Griffin. Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
On 2nd down, Riggins. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Here's Griffin to throw. He'll buy some time, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good. And in this first quarter of play, this will remain a tie ball game.
And this is a commentary on today's kickers and just how good they are that a coach would think about running his guy out there to try a 59-yarder. Here it backfires on him, but as a kicker, you have to appreciate the confidence that they showed in you.
2nd drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
They'll run the draw with Dorsett. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. Staying on the ground. This time it's Smith. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it again with Smith. Dancing away at the 35. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Aikman will throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 22-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Looking to pass, Aikman on first down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They go back to the ground now with Smith. A nice little, oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
This is really, really difficult for teams to coach because you love the extra effort, right? Would he break a couple of tackles? I mean, he was really trying to gain the extra yardage, but you also have to have an idea that people are going to come up behind you from the side, trying to take care of the ball while you're trying to get extra effort. Sometimes you have to know when to say when and maybe just go down.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Griffin. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
To throw again on second down, Griffin. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
Oh, he caught it. Just couldn't get the feet down. Couldn't get that toe tap sequence, right? I was ready to call him tippy toes if that one was completed.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Now it's Griffin. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, let's be honest about the whole thing. When you're looking for a reliable set of hands on third down, the first thought is often not fullback. But that's who they turn to there. And he does a nice job of securing the football and picking up the first down.
And now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. Griffin. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. A gain of 14, first down Commanders.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
They go play action. Griffin. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. 7-7, our score after 1. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. Up the middle they go. Riggins. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Griffin now to throw on 3rd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to have a Commanders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
Throwing now, Griffin on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Sacks, a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the 1st down sack. Griffin looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. On 3rd down, Griffin. And he finds McLaurin. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 38-yard line. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 38. 1st down, here's Mitchell. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Off the play fake. Here's Griffin. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
At least this time he's getting hit after a positive play for his offense. The pressure was coming through yet again, but he certainly didn't stick around for the sack on this occasion. Found an escape route and ended up getting the 1st down before taking the hit.
On 1st and 10, it's Griffin. Over the middle, it's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. And he'll take this one down near the 15. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a 1st. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Now Griffin. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They'll get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
We saw that indeed, picking up the first. So another third down conversion, and now they've got a first and goal. Now a handoff up the middle. Riggins. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
If you're going to keep these guys out of the end zone, you've got to be able to commit to stopping the run, and that's a nice job there getting the safeties involved in run support.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Here's Griffin. The quick slant caught. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a third and goal.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
This drive started way back inside their own 5. Now they're looking for the capper. Third and goal. They'll try the left side. Riggins. Yeah, boy, a good surge defensively. It'll depend on the mark, but I'm not sure he got there. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal.
This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. They'll try and throw for it with Griffin. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. A great play there. There to make the grab. And the Commanders go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. 4th and goal, the defense needed one more stand. They couldn't get it.
I just wonder if they were thinking heavy run here in that situation instead of being able to play the pass, and they were beaten on that possession.
Point after try forthcoming. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that about as lengthy a drive as you're ever going to see. And the result, a touchdown for Washington. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Last time out, remember, they fumbled the football. That led to the touchdown. And, Charles, they were in the red zone, so that's a backbreaker. They got to try to pick up the pieces here on this drive.
Yeah, and I actually started to do the math here, so be patient with me. 12-point swing is the way I calculate it, because not only did they drop the ball in the red zone, they watched the opponent score a touchdown right after that. So their goal, have a drive here and try and get some of those points back.
And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Smith up the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's another first down as this time they get an even 20.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid them, picking up a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Aikman. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Pearson. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. Here's Aikman setting to throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Smith trying to run for it. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know that sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite. But the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 14. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And right now we've got a little bit of an offensive masterpiece going on both sides, moving the football, scoring points. It's almost like somebody put the defense on rookie mode in this one. I mean, we haven't even left the first half, Charles, and we're certainly on pace for a shootout.
An excellent start for both offenses. The fans have to be enjoying this to seeing all these points go up on the board. As a former defender, you know I'm not enjoying this at all. But right now, both these teams just trading haymakers. Let's see if anyone slips up first. Can anyone counter with a nice little jab and get things going in their direction?
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
I know he was trying to get the completion downfield, but the way this game has gone, with a few of the runs he's made along the way, he should have kept the ball and taken it with his feet downfield. That's the big play that shreds the defense. Instead, he thought to himself, I'm a quarterback. I've got to throw it. He bailed out the defense with that incompletion.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Griffin. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Another try after the 1st down sack. Griffin. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Griffin. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 41-yard line. A 3rd down conversion with a strong gain of 14.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback? That was the fullback. Who says it to slot receivers? But the only guys who can catch the football and get big yardage after the catch. Really nice job there, showing good hands and an ability to get upfield.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. They'll throw on 1st down with Griffin. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago, because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
On 1st down, Griffin. Screen play setting it up for Mitchell. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Boy, that one was well read defensively. And this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive, because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
To throw again is Griffin. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. On 1st down, Riggins. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. Second and goal from the 1. Griffin. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Commanders will take the lead here in the final minute of the 1st half.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this 2nd quarter. Now the try here for the point after. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays.
And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Cowboy offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Now Aikman on first down. They'll set up the screen to Smith. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now Aikman. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now it's Aikman. Complete to Bryant. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. On play action, Aikman. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Aikman going to throw again. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. Aikman will throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 40. 21 yards there on 3rd down. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And that'll bring them back within 4.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. Fielded just outside the goal line. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome everyone to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, let's take a look at the next-gen stats from that first half for Washington. And their passing game has been the reason why they lead thus far. They've had great success moving the ball through 2 quarters of play. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they were even better throwing the football. Lots of open receivers to choose from, and you can bet that'll continue to be a focus in the second half.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. So Washington in a good spot. They've got the lead. They will get the football as the second half gets underway. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. The Commanders up first on offense as we begin this third quarter. But Charles, for them, pretty good first half on the ground. They had some success running the ball in quarters 1 and 2, and they've got the lead now, a chance to expand upon that lead here with their first drive in the third quarter.
Yeah, and believe it or not, you and I have noticed that this great game of football has shifted towards pass first, run second. So for me, it's really nice to see some of these teams keeping the ground game as a big component of their offense, and it's working pretty well for them now. And let's face it, they can continue to do damage with it. And in addition, it sets...
Now look out, Griffin hit, and he lost the football. It's loose. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. So a big turn of events there. This defense makes the play. They return it for the score, and now they have the lead.
So much for ball security for the offense. Playing with a lead in the second half, they give the ball up, and all of a sudden they're behind.
Big-time fumble. Extra point attempt to follow here. And that one gives them a 3-point lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Now Griffin on first down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Griffin. The open man is Clark, complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
From the 41, Griffin. There's Clark. He's got him again.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
A shotgun handoff to Mitchell. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4.
2nd and 6.
I have to think a major focus at the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Here's Griffin to throw. And that is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Here's Tressway now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow, out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and angled for him and shot for him. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now Aikman looking to throw.
And that is incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on third down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. Out now comes the Cowboys punter. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or two. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. From midfield now, here's Griffin. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Up the middle they go. Riggins. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. Now it's Griffin. The right side, that's complete to Clark. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. On 3rd and 1, Griffin. Here's Mitchell with a catch out of the backfield. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Short yardage situation, you have to wonder if they thought that they were just going to run it inside. But you have to be cognizant of the back slipping out of the backfield trying to find some open space. And that's exactly what he does to the tune of a first down.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Second down and 7. Griffin will throw again. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. 15 yards. And the Commanders have retaken a third-quarter lead.
Defensively by now, you know his ability. You know he has it in him to take off and run.
Yeah, because they knew coming into this game, but we've already seen examples in this contest that he can run the football.
I think they're going to examine different ways to rush him now. Are they going to do it with different lanes? Are they going to use a spy? But they have to come up with options because right now, he's hurting them.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will make this a 4-point game. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it was finished by the touchdown run from the 15. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Looking to pass. Aikman on first down. That's complete to Smith. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
From the gun on third down is Aikman. And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But the last one, man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Pulled in at the 24. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. The football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
A run there on first down, and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Griffin slings this deep from McLaurin. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I had to do a double take on that one, Brandon, because so far in this game, we haven't seen many of his passes fall incomplete.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Griffin. Screen play setting it up for Mitchell. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
And we know the guys up front have to protect when it's a pass play, but it's really out wide. Sometimes you're going to swing a tight end or maybe even offensive tackle to get out there, but most of the time it's fellow wide receivers, and they really weren't up to the task there, were they?
Do you like that call on your own side of the field?
I don't mind that call at all, just about anywhere. But the key is you have to have the confidence, and then they have to execute their blocking assignments. Otherwise, you get the end result we just saw there.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Dallas offense set for this next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
2nd and 7 from the 20. To throw is Aikman. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Aikman setting to throw it. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. They'll try the left side. Riggins. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Try to get the run game going. Here's Smith.
And not a whole lot there. Maybe a yard to the 27.
Well, give them credit for trying, but there was no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stuff the run, and then executed.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Aikman.
And on the left side, he's got Witten. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And 3rd and 8 now.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now it's Aikman. They set up the screen to Dorsett. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
The key to any screen play is early in the deception. That means everyone on the offensive side of the ball, but someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Commanders' offense set to take over. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. On 1st and 10, it's Griffin. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. It's rare that a receiver of his caliber would drop one pass, but that's now 2 times he's had his mitts on one and lost it.
Yeah, and I don't think that they're going to lose confidence in him, though, because of the track record. Such a good player, maybe having a bad game, but I think they'll still go to him in a critical spot.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Griffin. Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Griffin. And this is going to be incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Let's go, man.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Aikman will throw. Left side, it's Dorsett. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter.
as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line.
The Commanders preparing for their next possession. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
They'll throw on 1st down with Griffin. Throw to the right here, taken in by McLaurin. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Griffin to throw.
He'll dump that one off to Mitchell.
That's a gain of 4 here in the 4th quarter, with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Now a man open down the middle of the field.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now Griffin. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Commanders will add to their 4th quarter lead. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Extra point right down the middle, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and the result, a touchdown for Washington. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Cowboys about set to take over on offense. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit.
Let's go, baby. Let's rock and roll.
They begin with a run by Smith. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Now Aikman looking to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Pearson. So 8 yards on the completion there. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today.
And the Washington offense going back to work. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away.
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll try the left side. Riggins. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
On 3rd down, Griffin slings this deep from McLaurin. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A huge play there for Washington. And even 50 yards.
Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And he made that look effortless, didn't he? I mean, he's had a great game throwing the football. This is going to add to his yardage total in a big way. It's one thing to be accurate on your short and intermediate throws, but when you're hitting the bombs like those, look out.
And the final number of the next-gen stats, that ball traveling a full 59 yards through the air.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Griffin. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
From the 27, Griffin. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
On 1st down, Griffin. And his throw here's incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Riggins. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 62 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front, and it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Here's Griffin. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. It's their quarterback with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Commanders have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. So an important touchdown right there is now they're really beginning to pull away.
Yeah, and this was a tight game until not too long ago. But since then, they've hit the accelerator. And they pushed the lead up to 3 scores here in the 4th quarter. And I don't see them looking back.
Point after here coming up. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
1st down, here's Aikman. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
On 2nd down, Aikman. And this one could, and now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
Let's go, baby. Turn it up. Turn it up, baby. I got you, baby.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49.
Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Didn't get to the sticks, but that's an ideal carry there on 1st down, isn't it?
I mean, now you're 2nd and 1. Although, you know, in the NFL, even if he picked up the 1st down, I don't think it's a big difference because the clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, not like college.
Right. If it's college football, you want to 2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the 1st down because in college football, the clock stops with every 1st down and actually aids the defense in that situation.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Griffin. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And he's going to have a Commander's 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Up the middle they go.
Riggins to the 27-yard line.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good 1st down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on 1st down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Here we go.
On 2nd down now.
Riggins. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. 78 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Griffin.
Touchdown, Washington.
It's the fullback. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
But that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told.
And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. To throw is Aikman. Over the middle, complete. It's Pearson. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Here's Aikman setting to throw it. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and Washington will take control of the football in great field position. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The Commanders' offense returning to the field. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
93 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
Yeah, in this part of the game, the fourth quarter, this is where a running back really has a chance to shine. This is what they've been training for, to take over the game down the stretch. The defense, it's been battered all game long. And here, this is just a case of a runner imposing his will and deciding he didn't want to be tackled right there.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Riggins. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
On 2nd down, Riggins. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
So it's Washington getting the victory here, and maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. In a division game, it's usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case, that didn't hold up. On the road, big margin, big victory. Oh, yeah, that flight home will be good.